And on a beautiful day like it is today, there's nothing nicer than a flight in a glider over the Julian Alps, which are now right behind us, a bit at around 5 individuals that are born. The capital is Ljubljana. Some of you have been there, but some of you maybe haven't. Ljubljana has the population official 266,000, but beside it, let's say during a week with all the people coming in, with all the students, around 400,000. It's not only here in Slovenia, but if you would go throughout the Balkans, you would see that generally the population of the capital is the fact that the English is the first foreign language that is spoken here. But nonetheless, then the differences are as Slovenian is different than Serbian, Croatian, Montenegrin, Bosnian and Macedonian. And Macedonian is also different from all these. Macedonian downside, living in a basin. Positive side, no winds, which means in the winter it's really nice when it's not that cold. If, for example, if you've been in Vienna in the winter, maybe if it was windy, it's not too pleasant. Entering Ljubljana, but that street now has quite a fair bit more traffic since it's still 8:45, which testifies that the people now more or less work 9. Oh, we see each other when we see each other. We'll make a 20-minute stop here. Okay, so now it's 17. Okay. Communist period in Albania, but what is Albania? When did it come to exist? Never existed. Why? Which was the highest title, and each of them chose a minor emperor or a Caesar, and together the religious background. Who has the right? It's really hard to say. Around the world, that the state borders do not define the ethnical borders. But why is Kosovo of such a significant importance to the Serbs? Why? We're speaking with some of you. With every nation, mythology replaces a bit the true historical facts. In some more, in some less. Unfortunately, the Serbs found themselves on the side where now there's more mythology than the true historical facts. For them to let it go. And another thing that I told some of you is that nationalism, I think that nationalism can enter the arena, the amphitheater, which is 6th largest in the world and the ones in Croatia that some refer to as Terra Magica, the magical land. In the summer. So you can see from that how popular it is, and we're lucky. We're not to the 6th century, and it has really beautifully preserved mosaics. So it's completely different than all the other churches that you will see around, since it's so beside that, Porridge is a cute little town that dates back to the Roman times, and the other is Cardo Maximus, of the Venetian. So, when I told you wine and when we are on the way to Venice, we will cross Slovenia once again, since in between Italy and Croatia stands Slovenia. So please prepare your passports. I'll go to
Slovenia and Croatia. We're in Croatia. Just got in. Our bus. Two kids.
This is it for now. As you can see, Zagreb is a bit more crowded than Ljubljana, which means, again, old town center, streets that... In Slovenia you've seen Mercator. Here to the left you have Konzum. That's also a supermarket, so you'll find them all around. That's their version of our Mercator. And she'll be taking over the dictatorship from me. Okay, so it's better that I put on the microphone and stop.
Now I hope I won't be as... He's good. No, he's a dictator. You don't mind? No, you just love it. So today you're just lucky with the weather, and walking maybe it's not that far. You can see the mountain in front of us is still covered in Zagreb. It's called Mimara. You can see the top. You can see the sign on top of the building. Mimara is actually the last name of the person. He was the art collector or ethnographical museum. The second museum I would recommend is this yellow building in front of us on the left side. For example, this one that goes toward us, the white one, that's an old tram, okay? And that one was imported from Czech Republic. So After we managed to produce this one in Zagreb. And after we replace all the old ones, we're going to export them back to Czech Republic. And that's why. Right side, yellow building, that's archaeological museum. Archaeological museum is interesting for the collection from Egypt. Now, maybe you know or you don't, the biggest collection, and this is supposed to be the second biggest one. So if somebody is interested in that, and beside that, archaeological museum is one of the rare museums that has, for these trees, which are more than 100 years old, they are, how do you call them, sycamores. Plane trees or sycamores. Last floor, it's called Gallery of Old Masters. The building on your right side is a modern art gallery with a graphical museum inside. The statue of man on the horse, that's the first Croatian king. Just in case somebody comes, somebody goes to the central train station. All right, now the yellow building on the right side, usually it's yellow, now it's covered for the renovation. It's called the Art Pavilion, and that building is actually interesting. If you ask me, one of the ugliest ones. And with the beginning of 80s, when the Muslims have built another mosque close to River Sava, this building became contemporary art gallery, modern art. A famous Croatian sculptor, his name was Ivan Meštrović. If you still didn't hear the name, you're gonna hear it. Remember, Ivan Meštrović. At the beginning of 20th century, we pulled down the walls that were surrounding the cathedral. Now you can see on the right side only the remains of the old wall. The name of the park is Ribnjak, and riba in Croatian means fish. So this used to be a place where the bishops had the lakes with the fish just for their private needs. And at the beginning of 20th century, the lakes disappeared, and this was open as a public. Okay, let's do it like this. We'll make it in about hour and 15 most. At that time I will finish on the main square, and after that it's up to you. If you walk very slowly, I'll talk less every time when it's up to you. Okay?
One more thing.
Again.
If some of you decide to take off during the sightseeing, please just let Valentina know, since then sometimes we end up looking for you.
Oh, we can drop off if you want.
Well, at least, still. Just in case, please let her know.
Which was of course much smaller than you can see. This cathedral is only 120 years old. So, historically more important than the cathedral itself. One was standing here at the place of this one. So this fifth one was connected with those two, with the walls like that one over there. Okay, you get a picture. It was a closed complex of walls and towers, and that was built in 15th century. Never came to Zagreb. They were stopped in a great battle about 60 kilometers south from here. Only those ones behind the main altar are originals from 19th century. On these two sides they were replaced in 1964 after a big earthquake we had in Zagreb. And this stained glass was given to us by the cathedral from Munich as a gift. The second thing is here on the wall. Turn around. Have you seen the white stone? Even some parts of the White House in Washington DC are made of that White House from the island of Croatia. Okay, that man over there is the same person you're going to see on the main square, the big man on the horse, the second man on the horse, that's the same person. He was important for us because he was the general of the Croatian army in 19th century.